pay attention more on the minimap, your teammate's positioning, and their utility usage. Because that's the only position where the enemies can be right now. You're gonna die. This is a 3x zoom. You would have died if the enemy Yoru actually had a brain and he didn't push you like this. This is a lucky kill. I don't count this. I want you to have good habits, to develop a good gameplay. Use your brain. You get some call out. Check the minimap. Reyna is passively playing mid. She doesn't see the cross in the vents. She told us that enemies are in the vents. Isn't it logical to hold a better angle and just watch for the vents? You know, like, I don't know, hold something like this safely, or just hold a, you know, this peak with the outlaw, like body shot, 2 enemies are dead. You have that minimap blindness, you know, and you need to fix it.
What the
Huge.
Oh, they're up here? What?
And obviously, after getting that kill, he should have just repositioned. I mean, like, right here, after this kill, I would have just reloaded the outlaw, go all the way into the CT, and hold this angle. So if enemies are executing Cypher through the Omen and tower, I can instantly support my Cypher and then bop, bop. You know? And in the same time, we're holding the CT as well. Today we have my friend Lermley won a free VOD review through the giveaway. All of the giveaways you can access on my Discord server. On every 50 new Twitch subs, I organize giveaways for free Valorant points, free coaching, and stuff like that. Today we have a Ascendant 1 Omen on Split. Omen Split struggles with 50-50 aim duel. Shaky aim after missing first. Free VOD review giveaway. I have not been able to aim at the past 4 days, and my aim is in shambles. But we had a team with good comms, which was fun. We'll focus on our mechanics to see what we can do a bit better. Bronze, unranked, gold, silver, diamond 2, Ascendant 2, Ascendant 1. Not bad. Let's see what he's doing in this act. 50% win rate, headshot percentage 20%. His KD and damage per round are quite bad for Ascendant, you know, diamond player. But the bigger concern for me is your KST. So that means that you're dying in some stupid ways, or you don't have a proper team play with your allies. To be honest, your picks are totally fine for this elo. The only difference is that Viper, I would only play on Breeze. Now, let's see the maps that you play. So on Sunset, you're playing Gecko. Gecko is a really strong pick on Sunset, especially in the lobbies like below Immortal 3. I play him even in Immortal 3 and Radiant. On Split, Omen is a Giga Chad. I don't know why you have a 50% win rate on Split. You have my ranked playbook with Omen on my Discord server. I fully explained how to play the map, how to play Omen on this map. Let's get serious. On Lotus, you can mix Omen and Gecko, to be honest. Like, it's totally fine. Ascent, Omen, Breeze, Viper, Icebox. Personally, I truly believe that Omen is a much better pick for Icebox up to Immortal 3. There is enormous amount of outplays, enormous amount of smoke setups that you can do to fuck up the enemies if you play him in a way that I play him, of course. And having this win rate on Bind with Omen, unacceptable. If I was you, first of all, I would completely stop with the Reyna arc, but I see that with Breach and Cypher, you also have quite a lot of success. Like, for example, you can play Cypher on Sunset. Like, Cypher on Sunset is amazing. You can play Cypher on Breeze. Cypher on Breeze is also amazing, especially now they brought back the tube and the map became cancerous. When it comes to the weapons that you're using, your eco rounds are terrible. What you're aiming for when it comes to KD in eco rounds is like minimum 0.95 to 1. Bro, you're playing Omen. You're playing controllers. Apply the shorty. Apply some easy strategies, man. Full buy rounds, even though your ADR and ACS are better than in other rounds, like 0.98. Not that good, bro. Not that good. At least one thing that is really good for you is pistol rounds. Having a good KD and a good performance in pistol rounds is very important, because if you win the first round, by the default you kind of win the second round. That's already 4 rounds in a pocket in one match. Muy bien. One thing that I would recommend you is to not switch between the Vandal and Phantom this much. You know, you should have a preference. This is just another inconsistency layer in your gameplay. Classic Outlaw is there. Love it, love it, love it. Even though your performance with Outlaw is... Well, it's okay, actually. It's actually really good. Shorty, okay. Your weaponry is really, really good. The only thing that I would put a bit higher is definitely Stinger, above the Spectre, and you need to master the Operator. I don't give a f if you're playing Sentinels, Controllers. Operator is something that every single player in Valorant should master. This is a free elo weapon. Now, before we dive into this VOD review, let me tell you about an amazing software called Valorant Tracker by TRN, which you can download for free by using my link from the description. This application allows you to analyze yourself and to always understand on which fields you can improve as a solo queue player. And in my private coaching sessions, this is the first thing that I analyze for my students. This software is also extremely useful to analyze your teammates and enemies during your live games, because already at the start, based on these statistics, you can instantly see which players are the weakness of yours or enemy team, which can increase your chances of winning if you use this data in the smart way. But beside all of that, Valorant Tracker also has integrated agent guides and lineups that can be extremely useful for players that are learning new characters, or that simply want to increase their game knowledge while they're actually playing the game. For an example, if you're playing Raze on Icebox and you have no idea how to use her utility on that map, in between rounds you can simply click on Guides, find Raze, select the map that you're playing, and voila! You have some short guide and lineups that you can implement on both attackers and defenders side in real time, while majority of these guys have my coaching seal of approval. Even though this video is sponsored by Valorant Tracker, which I highly appreciate and it will help me a lot if you use my link from the description to download the app for free, I truly believe that this software can give you an advantage in your solo queue games and help you to improve faster. Attacker side of split. Let's talk about a split for a second. Your default bomb site, number 1 priority, A site. Number 2 priority, mid control, punishing enemies on mid. Number 3 priority, B site. So what does this mean? Usually, when you're starting the games on split, you want to test the enemies here to see how they respond to your A pushes. Then you want to test the enemies on mid, and then as the last resort, we want to use the B side, because usually through the B side it's really hard to breach, but you know, all of this depends heavily on the enemy's team composition. Like for example, in the first round, how do we decide what to push? Enemies don't have the Sage. What we can do in the first round is immediately try to abuse the enemies on mid and B side. We can do some kind of a 1-4 split where we send one of our teammates through the B main to lurk and, you know, take the space there, and 4 of you guys together with a spike are pushing through mid and instantly abusing this area of the map. No matter what type of strategy you're playing with Omen, in the first round you're always buying classic, light, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. We're smoking this, and pushing with our allies onto the site. Enemies do have a Sage, but enemies don't have any other sentinel. Not this, not this, not this. What do we do then? 5-man push through the A main area of the map. And we can push A site against this team composition 3 rounds in a row to create an unpredictable pattern of pushing, because pushing A site is okay in eco rounds, half buy rounds, full buy rounds, it doesn't matter that much. We have a lot of aggressive plays and ways to take the A site control. And in the first round, if you're pushing A site, what you want to do is smoke this as a one-way, smoke this, make sure to cover the elbow and the screens, and you're teleporting here aggressively, and from this position either taking the fast elbow control or pushing with your teammates on site. Usually I go into the elbow, take a control there, surprise the enemies and try to f them up. Of course, tell your initiators to clear this box and this box so you don't die when you're doing this teleport. And enemies do have a Sage, and have a Cypher, and have a Deadlock, and have a Killjoy. So they have like 2 of these sentinels. What are we doing? We're doing a 5-man push onto the A tower. You tell your teammates, hey guys, let's do a 5-man push onto the tower. You're doing a smoke here like this, smoke here like this, and you can go with your teammates, or you can risk a teleport into the smoke. Usually I don't risk the TP into the smoke, I just want to take the tower control. And if you take 2+ kills on tower, you go and finish on A. If you take 1 or below kills on tower, you go through the vents and onto the B site. How the smokes should look like? We're doing the smoke here, like this. And we're doing this smoke here, like this. Why do we use this smoke when we are primarily pushing onto the tower? So that enemies don't have the smoke here to play around it or inside of it. If the enemies want to peek you onto the rafters, onto the ramp, through this smoke, you're always in an advantage. You see their shoulder before they see you. Muy bien, excelente. Usually the best idea when you're doing this strategy is to tell your jet to use the updraft dash into this smoke and then 4 of you guys are making the pinch onto the enemies and basically killing 1 guy or 2 guys here and then deciding what to do next. Now let's see what you're gonna do. What's up, tricksters? My name is Charlatan. I'm an all-time Radiant player since closed beta and the #1 most experienced Valorant coach. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. If you're interested in coaching yourself, be sure to join my official Discord over at discord.gg/charlatan. Some of the coaches and pro players that you're watching today were actually the students of Papito. Other than that, enjoy in this one, baby. Pushing B set here is a bit of a sudoku. Why? They have a Sage that is probably gonna play the mid. Maybe the Sage is even gonna wall B. I don't know. The real problem here is with a wall they can just, fully focus onto the B site and, you're gonna have like 3 enemies on the B set immediately like this. Or maybe even 4. If they're playing like some 1-3-1 setup, I don't know why the fuck would you do that in the first round. Second reason why this is bad, Breach can easily stomp your push onto the B site with the flashes, aftershock, stun. You're gonna die like a potato.
I got the spike.
Now, if for some reason you are pushing B site in the first round, what type of execute I would use with Omen? I would do an aggressive execute again. So basically, I would use a smoke here, smoke here, or tower. And then, what I would do this teleport. And then, from this position, you have 6 different executes. You can teleport down here. You can teleport here. You can teleport here, there, or even in your smoke on tower. This is one of the best executes. Don't overuse it. You can use it in the first round, in some eco halbye rounds, or when you think enemies are not going to expect it. Some rounds you can maybe fake it, to make the pressure onto the enemies and make them think like, what the fuck is this Omen doing? But this type of an execute you can do like 2 or 3 times during the match to outplay the enemies. Remember?
Low. Think here.
For some reason, enemy Jet is playing B and not Omen and Breach. But this round gave us a lot of useful information. What type of info we got from this round already? We got the info that enemies love to be aggro in A main and B main area of the map, especially Jet. Second information that we have is that enemy Sage is obviously playing on mid, enemy Breach is playing on A site, enemy Yoru is playing on A site, and enemy Omen is playing probably tower and B site. Now, how do I know that Yoru is A and not B? He probably had a TP lineup, like there's no way that enemies played 4 players on B site and they rotated this fast. The first 4 rounds in Valorant we call the learning rounds, and those are the most important rounds for you in the match. In the first 4 rounds, you should be reading what enemies are doing and how should you counter them, how should you play the rest of the match, and where is their biggest weakness. Number 2, you should be reading how well your teammates are playing and how you should adapt yourself to your allies. So that is why intaking this information is extremely important for you.
Jet low.
One enemy remaining.
To be honest, solid first round. Now, on split, one very important thing that you should do when your teammates decide to push B site and A site is holding the enemy's peak for the first 3 to 4 rounds of the match. So from now on, in every single full buy round, when I have a long-range weapon, I will be holding this. Basically, my reaction time allows me to hold this with the Vandal. I don't know about yours reaction time. With the Operator, I'll be holding it like this. With Outlaw, I'll be holding it like this as well. When your teammates are pushing A, we need to hold the A main peak from this off angle, or as a tight, narrow angle, as tight as your reaction time allows you. This is the only way to counter that peak if your teammates don't want to use a flash or some kind of a utility to pressure the enemies backwards. And usually, I'm holding these peaks for 2 or 3 seconds. Basically, when my teammates are pushing B main area of the map and they reach this position, that's when I'm connecting with them. When my teammates are pushing A main and they peak this position, I'm pushing with them. Now, when it comes to split, when you're playing anti-eco rounds and bonus rounds on split, your best weapon that you should be using on this map is Stinger. Like, Stinger is such a versatile gun. This map is more like medium range, close range map. And this is the weapon that you need to master on this map. On a defender side, in anti-eco rounds, I would probably force Outlaw, because this gun is just broken. And to be honest, like, if enemies force a bit in the second round, and they're playing bonus round with the light shields, easy kills, bro. Now, if you win the first round, and in every round where the enemies are eco and halby, fuck this area of the map. You don't need it. Just push onto the A site. If you are playing some kind of an eco, the easiest kills that you can get are on mid. Especially with Omen, smokes, paranoia, teleport. You can always trade yourself for at least one kill, even if you're playing a shorty. In this round, I would have just hold for the 5 and push onto A site, and that's it. So here, I gave decision to go mid. Now, you know, like, Charlataninha can pull out his shorty, Bucky, and I can just demolish you. I mean, enemies with a classy pistol can basically demolish you right now.
You're stuck, I think.
There's a lot of we have.
Yeah, be careful in there.
Ooh. Okay, one huge tip. This tip applies for every single map in Valorant. When you're pushing onto the bomb site, only through the short area of that map. So the short area of the map for a set of split is the ramp and tower. Your primary focus should always be to clear your cavity, you know, wipe it really good so that your teammates don't die from some unexpected enemies in that main area of the map. If you don't do it, only God knows if your teammates are gonna do it instead of you. Go with the raise, go with the raise.
I'm stunned.
That's okay, it's okay.
This can be... Omen is behind us, Omen is main.
It's okay.
There's two city.
Okay.
Don't give them guns.
In this round, we were a bit lucky. Enemies didn't have the balls to push, but always do what I told you to do right now. Okay.
Flashing.
Okay, good flash.
You're backside. I'm flashing backside.
Okay, listen. If your teammates are already executing the site, and you get the information that nobody is here and here, I always avoid crossing the choke point with the Omen by my feet. I will always do it with a shrouded step. Why would I risk, you know, getting spammed through the smoke, getting like tripwired by the Cypher, naded, Molotov, shit like that. If your raise already takes this space, she's aggressively contesting the enemies. We know that enemies are not here, not here. Use this teleport. You're instantly there to support the raise, outplay the enemies, and enemies on the bomb side, they don't know where you teleport. This is a very safe location to teleport. You know, not on the top, but obviously right here. And the number one rule of Valorant. Always pre-assume that enemies can be anywhere and everywhere. Make sure to check every single angle and every single corner where the enemies can be. This was a huge mistake going instantly for the spike plant. Now, when you're planting the spike on the A site, the best 4 positions to plant the spike is around this pillar. You know, you can plant it here. If that is not safe, you can plant it here towards the enemies. So we have a one-way up there. Planting the spike around the screens, anywhere, you know, we have a one-way. And planting the spike instead of this corner, right here, where, once again, when you plant the spike, you have this one-way smoke that you can use to fuck up the enemy. So you use it a bit more on the right side, here, and that's it. Bam.
You have smoke for heaven.
10 seconds.
One vent.
Elbow. Crosser!
Oh, he's already...
Bro, in the post plant, 50% of times, your eyes are on the minimap. 50% of times on the angles that you're holding. Like, you're consistently need to check. My Sky is holding the left side. Reyna is holding the tower. My only job is to hold the screens. And elbow. What the fuck are we doing here? Why do you even want to push the enemies? You know, we killed this guy. One more enemy is going out. Let's just play here. Like this. Close to the Sky. So that if Sky goes for this frag, we can refrag her. And if Omen peeks us, Sky can refrag us. Come on, let's get serious.
One vent.
Cameras is broken.
I think this is really entertaining. Thank you, man.
Head up.
Spike down mid.
Listen, on split, whenever you have 2 or more teammates contesting the enemies on mid, you need to do some kind of a smoke. The one way for vents, or the regular default smoke, or the smoke for the male. We cannot have both of these angles opened, and we need to put some pressure onto the enemies and isolate these angles. Rule number 2, if your teammates are already not pushing on the contact, you know, playing slow, always go in front of your teammates, jump spot the enemies, because in all of the lobbies below Immortal 3, one of the most underused mechanics to gather the information is jump spotting. Here, you could have jump spotted a Sage, she's missed the shot, she's gonna miss the shot, do this, come here, take the mid control, or maybe we can fuck up the Sage with some kind of a paranoia, teleport, and that's it. Losing 2 players here, unacceptable. I will do everything that is in my capabilities to prevent any death here, here, and here, until we commit to some kind of an execute. Come on.
Spike down mid.
Now, this second kill that happened, not even God could have helped, like, that Sky, so, you know, it's okay. Listen. With a Stinger, you need to control the recoil of the gun. When we are using Stinger, on 0 to 20 meters, so on this distance, you can use Stinger without ADS and try to kill the enemies that are here, without any problems. On 25 plus meters, we need to use the ADS to kill the enemies and to delete them. Now, after 6 bullet, Stinger recoil goes up in the air. Like it always kicks in. Bam. In deathmatch, practice range, you should learn how to compensate this recoil and to develop a feeling for the 6th bullet. So, you cannot do this. Crouch down. Spray down. Like, at the end of the day, if you cannot manage the Stinger recoil, as soon as you feel that you're losing the control of it, commit to the fight and crouch down. And that's it. With a Stinger, burst firing doesn't exist. This is impossible. Like with the Stinger, you're always committing to the fight if you're fighting the enemies with a hip fire. Listen, when you're doing any aggressive Omen play and you want to teleport inside of your smoke, that smoke is always the second smoke, and the time gap between your execute and the utility placement should be maximum 3 seconds. If more than 3 seconds pass, this TP play becomes a complete 50-50 gamble. Because I can sit in it, kill you, and already I'm gonna be like, bro, this smoke smells weird, you know? Like, what the fuck is this shit? So you did this smoke at 140. And you teleported inside of the smoke at 125.
One side, wait. One side.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
Okay, this is very good. We have the ultimate. We have a shrouded step. What do we do now, chat? Well, obviously, we peek the enemies and die in a 1v2 fight, right? Shut the fuck up. 1v2. Play smart. Wait for your smokes to recharge. Number 1. Number 2. We can go into the elbow. Teleport. Into the CT. Go on to the B side. Pick up the spike. With the ultimate. We plant the spike on B. Of course, first you clear B, then you use the ultimate. And then we aggress the enemies into the CT and fuck them up with a Stinger. That's what you're gonna do, right? Of course. Come on. Cover going out. TP! Another smoke, TP!
I can flash for you right now, wait.
In these type of scenarios, when the enemies stop your push, the best idea in 90% case scenarios is, so, enemies kill your Cypher, Who cares? It's a fucking Cypher. I don't need him. Enemy stopped our push with a Omen smoke. The best idea is to cut the noise for 20 seconds and reheat the same site. Just hold the peak of the enemies in the beam in, and after 20 seconds, execute the site. Why 20 seconds? After 20 seconds, players in ranked solo queue usually become very undisciplined, or their focus drops down quite a lot. So now, after 20 seconds, there is a chance that enemy jet is gonna be curious in B main. You take an easy kill, open the site. After 20 seconds, maybe enemies from the B site will rotate to A, thinking that you're pushing A set right now, or maybe they're gonna focus on mid. Allowing your teammates to do whatever the fuck they want is only gonna result in the end of this round. There's no way that these guys are gonna do anything on mid. Like right now, you know, one enemy can be behind us, Race can die in a solo duel, these guys could have died from the operator. If they win this round, like how they're playing right now, in a Diamond 3, Ascendant 1 lobby, I give you 10 gifted subs.
Sage is here. I think we go.
One more dead.
Left side, left of the round.
One more dead. Fuck. In this round, when it comes to his utility usage, like, he's making the same mistake. Please, you know, if you have a Sky in team, tell the Sky to flash the tower, flash the Amen close, anything, bro. Like, literally, Sky is not using her utility. When it comes to your Stinger gunplay, you need to fix this shit, bro. What the fuck is this?
I can flash for you, Omen. I can flash the ramp for you. It's gonna be good.
No, don't.
We have B, we have B.
Look at side.
Behind.
Spike down A. Last player
Bro,
standing.
I'm so done.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Down A.
Okay, rule number 1. You notice that your teammate that is lurking and flanking is not finding any real value because the rest of the team is dying, or that teammate is just stupid. Tell your Cypher, hey Cypher, we need you, play with us, don't go alone. Lurking and flanking in ranked solo queue is only worth it 10% of the rounds. You should not be doing it every fucking round, because then you become way too predictable. You will notice when I play Cypher, when I play Killjoy, I lurk and flank like in 12 rounds, I'm gonna do it 2 rounds maximum. Now, when you're losing the rounds, you should always ask yourself, what are the enemies doing to fuck us up? Like, why are we losing when we are pushing A site? We are losing because enemy Breach is instantly using a stun and his utility to fuck us up in the aiming area of the map. What do? We tell our teammates, hey guys, enemies are using instant initiator utility to gather the information in the aiming area of the map. Can we hold the aim and push after that player does the utility? Playing default here is not a solution. Okay.
Nice.
This is also really good. Yeah.
One on side. Let's push him together. Go
Okay.
together.
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Together. Together we fight, together we die! We need to turn out from the... Okay, I mean, like, when you're getting flashed in the face like this, you need to develop a habit of, you know... Now, second habit that every single Omen player should have is whenever you get stunned, flashed, molotoved, naded, especially flashed and stunned, your instant autopilot reaction should be teleport somewhere. Like, even if you die in the middle of that teleport, you're still much harder target for the enemies to hit than just standing still and randomly spraying bullets and praying to God that you're gonna get that kill. So here, we got flashed. Think fast. Where did I smoke? Where did I see the enemies on the minimap? Where can I teleport? No problem. Let's just jump, teleport back onto the tower, smoke. We got flashed, let's do this. Fuck it. You will have higher chances to survive like that. Even if that breach kills you in the middle of TP, doesn't matter. You at least try to do something to survive.
Cover going out.
Ooh, paranoia! No? Bro, listen, like, if you notice that enemies are using this fast utility, you know, Omen Paranoia, Breach Stun, Omen One Way, they're probably fighting for that area of the map. Like here, instantly, as your team has got stunned, you abandon the mission of doing the smoke, and you need to Paranoia the beam and area of the map, because your teammates can die like a potatoes. And we need to play some anti-flash system to dodge the enemy's flashes, and to help our teammates. Like, this instant enemy utility usually gives you the info that enemies are fighting for that area of the map, and you need to play smarter. I don't know, like, how nobody died here, to be honest.
Last player standing.
Cypher troops don't exist. But the reason why enemies are reading them so much is because they are going A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, I feel that you would have won 3 more rounds if you were just pushing A site. Now, the question is, how do we counter the rule of fear and ABAB rule? We use the LSD rule. What is the LSD rule? If a certain play, strategy, tactic, position, execute doesn't work for you in a game of Valorant once, we call that a matter of luck. Like, basically, there is too many RNG factors that impact the outcome of your gunfights and your rounds, and you cannot delete some kind of a push, playstyle, execute, position from your gameplay because it didn't work once. So what? It's more unpredictable if you repeat it again in the absolutely same fucking way. If something doesn't work for you in a game of Valorant for 2 times in a row or during a match, that is a bit of a skill issue. Basically, what does this mean? This means that we need to adapt this specific play that we tried for 2 rounds. So, for an example, if I was doing this aggressive play here, I'm not gonna teleport into the smoke, I'm gonna teleport in that cubby location and try to punish the enemy that is in the smoke from this spot, or try to take the side control, go to the elbow, backstab this enemy, for an example. Certain something doesn't work for you 3 times in a row or during a game, it is absolutely dumb to repeat it again. And you need to rely during that match on everything else that you have in your playbook. Like changing the playstyle in a specific way, changing the way that you push the sites, changing the way that you execute the sites, changing the way that you defend the sites, etc, etc. So in a game of Valorant, it is totally fine to lose 3 rounds in a row by trying to abuse the same shit, same area of the map, same positioning, in a slightly different way. And it is absolutely retarded to lose like 4 rounds in a row. That is something that should never happen for you. Already after 3rd round, you're changing something. Bro, like, you cannot space out like this with Omen. It is better if you do this one-way smoke up here. Enemies cannot peek from it. Enemies cannot push through it. They cannot pop flash you. Now, we done this smoke. Our teammates are pushing in. We used our flash. What the fuck are you doing? Run! You know, we are doing the smoke here. Connecting with our teammates. They're pushing onto site. Spamming that smoke. Coming here. Raze is going out. I need to support her. Dropping down. I don't need to be overexposed here like a monkey. I can teleport here. From this spot. Clear the CT. Clear the box. Drop down. Connect with your most aggressive teammates. Use your ultimate. Hello? Use your ultimate, bro. Fast, fast. Smoke tower. Move, 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 move. Check the right side. We cannot stop. Use the ultimate on B. They're on B side. Lucky kill. Doesn't matter. Your teammates on B could have died. Sorry that I'm yelling. I don't know why I'm doing that. Smokes exist. Smokes exist. Smoke exists.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
A bit like, you know, lucky round. Lucky round. Like your teammates on B could have died like potato. Cypher could have died like a potato in the B-man as well. You need to support your teammates better. That's why your KSC is shit. You're dying in a stupid ways. You're performing aggressive plays in a stupid ways. And your refrag team play game, not really good. Now, on the great defender side of Split. This is a defender side map, so even if you get only 3 rounds on the attack, match is more than winnable. Both Bind and Split, even 3 rounds on the attack. Thank you, God. Now, defender side. A side, number 1 priority. and your default bomb site. B site, number 2 priority. We play it when, we think enemies are gonna go B. We have some good read onto the enemies. Both A site and B site, you don't give a shit about their control. The primary focus of you on this map is doing the rotations and some kind of a move on the first contact between enemies and your teammates, and making sure that you always have the information and control of the B tower and A tower. So if the enemies are splitting A, sell the A site, fight for A tower, kill the enemies there, play the retake on A. Enemies are splitting B, your teammates are dying on mid. Stop the enemies push on B tower, deal with the enemies on B set later. And in every single round where you have a long range weapon and the enemies are playing a full buy, you want to contest the enemies aggressively here, here, and here. You don't need to fight them. You can just go for some dead zone, fast peek, jump spot the enemies, flash peek, operator, crouch peek. You don't need to say too much. We need to get early information. Now, in my ranked playbook, I explained like 15 different one-way smokes on this map. Like, amount of one-ways that you have here is enormous. But the only one that you need to learn how to do fast from every fucking angle and every position on the map is this one-way smoke right here. This is the most important shit ever. If your teammates are not aggressively fighting on mid, your sage wall is destroyed. This is better 90% of the times than doing some kind of a stupid Omen smoke like that. 90% of the times. Now, in the first round of split, we always play on the A site. 60% of times in ranked solo queue, in the first round, enemies are gonna push you here, and only 40% of times it is gonna be this push onto mid and B. What I love to do with Omen, I love to play a classic pistol shorty strategy, either onto the ramp with this smoke here, or in the A main area of the map with this smoke right here. We create a cubby position with a smoke where we can hide and dodge the enemy's utility. This is the cubby, this is the cubby, and we can take like 1-2 easy kills, pick up the classic pistol, teleport away, outplay the enemies, like so many shit you can do. Another tip, when I'm doing this strategy on the A site, I don't pre-aim my smoke for the A main area of the map. I actually pre-aim my smoke here. So if my teammates are getting split or pushed onto the B site, I can instantly delay and stop the enemy's push with this one way. Start the round like this, enemies are pushing A site. Just reset the smoke and deploy it.
She like for
Oh yeah, they will do.
Okay, on the split, remember 2 very important tips. Tip number 1. It is better for you to play a retake game 24/7 rather than losing the numbers. Unless you're playing some kind of an eco and hull by round. Like refrag and retake potential, you're valuing always. Numbers are everything on split. Both retake of A set and B set are quite easy compared to some other maps. Rule number 2. On the first contact with the enemies and your teammates, you can make some kind of a move. Either a rotation, taking more space, anything. Rule number 3. When you're rotating between A site and B site, 90% of times you should rotate through the CT. Because here, if you're rotating through the vents, only God knows if you will be able to connect safely with your teammates on the B tower and to help them with the retake. They can wall you, they can Molotov you, they can leave one enemy here that is, watching your rotation. There's so many angles that that enemy can play to fuck you up. You cannot clear all of them properly. It's really hard. Okay. When you win the first round of split, in a second round, Outlaw is a really good weapon on this map. But in this round, I wouldn't play this aggressively. Enemy Yoru can TP with a flash, kill me with a shorty. Enemy Jet can dash with a breach stun. There's no reason to play this aggro with the Outlaw. I will just, hold some kind of an off angle like this. Hold some kind of a position like this. Hold some kind of an off angle like this. Hold this angle. Hold this angle. Play from the tower. There's no reason to die in this anti-eco round.
Mid on you.
I'm blind.
I'm with you.
No reason. Enemy's team composition and your team composition depends what you can do and what you cannot do on a specific map. Breach, Yoru, Jet, and Omen in the same team. You need to expect this type of a play.
I will heal you. Wait.
It's mid.
Yeah, watch out, Omen.
Careful from mid.
Reloading.
Here, like, you can, bro, you cannot hold this angle with Outlaw when there is a chance for one enemy to be in the vents. Let's use our brain. We made a numbers advantage. Do we need ramp control right now? No, we don't need it. Plus, we have a Cypher camera watching the ramp. Nobody crossed. Pay attention more on the minimap, your teammate's positioning, and their utility usage. Because that's the only position where the enemies can be right now. You're gonna die. This is a 3x fucking zoom. You would have died if the enemy Yoru actually had a brain and he didn't push you like this. This is a lucky kill. I don't count this. I want you to have good habits, to develop a good gameplay. Use your brain. You get some call out. Check the minimap. Reyna is passively playing mid. She doesn't see the cross in the vents. She told us that enemies are in the vents. Isn't it logical to hold a better angle and just watch for the fucking vents? You know, I don't know, hold something like this safely, or just hold a, this peak with the Outlaw, like body shot, 2 enemies are dead. You have that minimap blindness, and you need to fix it.
What the
Huge.
fuck? Oh, they're up here? What?
And obviously, after getting that kill, he should have just repositioned. I mean, like, right here, after this kill, I would have just reloaded the Outlaw, go all the way into the CT, and hold this angle. So if enemies are executing Cypher through the Omen and tower, I can instantly support my Cypher and then bop. And in the same time, we're holding the CT as well.
Yeah, I don't see no.
Omen, you can stay. I can lurk.
Yeah.
Okay, Omen technology time. These are your 2 default smokes. Default smoke number 1 and the best default smoke ever, number 2. This smoke also creates a small one-way gap that you can use to kill and cheese the enemies. You should tell your teammates there is a one-way gap there. Also, this smoke we can use in eco rounds, halberd rounds, and bonus rounds to outplay the enemies when we think they're gonna go B, get in the smoke, and from the smoke, peek the enemies and try to kill them. When you're retaking the site, this is your retake smoke. And this smoke here, we can use when we are playing with a close range weapons around the choke point. We can hide here, hide there, like, you can make it a bit better, obviously. So here, this smoke that you did should have been a bit deeper, but anyways, your Cypher is playing like a passive potato with the trips, so it doesn't matter, in this scenario at least.
I have my flashes if you want to retake.
And as I said, on the first contact on split between enemies and your teammates, you can make some kind of a rotation instantly. If you notice that enemies are faking a lot, they are lurking, flanking, then you can anchor the bomb sites and anchor your position.
No one flash.
Shadows traveling.
2 slow rotation. Oh, nice shot.
Last player standing.
Okay.
Nice guys.
Spike down B.
Wait, my dog. I'm dogging. Wait, my dog, guys.
Okay, never make this mistake that Raze is making right now. If the enemies didn't plant the spike, or you have numbers advantage, never destroy the enemy sage wall. There's no reason to do it if your controller is alive. Why? Because right now, if one enemy is stuck here, enemy still didn't plant the spike, the rest of the enemies are here, we can simply use a smoke here, paranoia, the backside, kill that enemy in a 1v5 gunfight, and then focus on the rest of the enemies. Generally speaking, you should not destroy the sage wall until you clear this position. Destroying that wall just gives the enemies more opportunities to fuck you in a 1v1 fights or isolate you in some kind of a way.
Watch out.
One enemy remaining.
I don't know how we forgot about the Yoru at the backside.
Still a little further back. Maybe we can catch Jet.
Hawk out.
Okay.
Blinded.
Shadows traveling.
Jet up heaven.
Okay. Okay, this is, you know, that aim duel that he was talking about. To be honest, like, you know, this is the only time where your raw mechanical skill actually lost you the round. You had a really good read onto that Jet play. One of the best counters that you can do for that play is a one-way smoke. Start your round here, pre-place this one-way smoke there. Jet is gonna dash maybe all the way here. If you hear the Jet there, flash, take the kill. Because rest of her team cannot help her out in any way. If she's not dashing all the way there, she's just using the instant dash from this position onto the rafters. One-way smoke, you know, dodge the enemy stun and flash. Flash the Jet back. You still have the full ramp control, full tower control, and now enemies are fucked. Our best bet is once again to play onto the B tower. And in the vents, you know, we fucked up enemies push 2 times in a row. Your positioning right now is fine.
Water.
Mid.
Mid.
Rena, can you stay here?
Also, another tip. You should never play in the vents if your idea is to play passively. Because vents usually gets smoked, molotoved, naded, slow orbed, walled. Everything goes into this anal hole right here. If you hear the enemies pushing mid and you wanna contest the enemies here, you go for a burst fire, a lot of the enemies are pushing. Your instant reaction with Omen should be teleporting onto the B tower and connecting with your teammates here. Because on split, if you lose the B tower, you lose such an important area of the map and enemies can shit on your teammates and on you as well. The only time I'm gonna start in events is if I'm playing chamber, I wanna peek out with operator, take a kill, or I notice enemies are not smoking it and I can play the op to get an easy kill and that's it. Otherwise, start on the fucking B tower.
Rena, can you stay here?
Bro,
He left instantly.
Behind you.
I don't.
Spike plant.
By the way, listen, if the enemies are going through the vents, the worst position that you can play is above the enemies here. Because on this spot, you will die, like, it's an extremely 50-50 duel. Instead of holding this angle, what he should have done here is simply smoke his back and just hold the enemies as they're using the zipline. This is your easy kill. But dropping down, that kill on the Jet was just lucky. Even holding this is way too risky. And I'm always gonna see your legs before you see my legs.
You're gonna be B. It's
Okay,
B.
I mean, if you already have the Omen ultimate and you see that enemies are committing to some push, on a defender side, you can feel free to use your ultimate a bit more for the rotations to reveal the enemies and that type of shit, you know. You don't need to save it this much.
B.
30 seconds left.
Add yourself, Sasha. Let me die.
Shadows traveling.
No one dies.
Yeah, I'm the butcher.
So there is, you know, so that this type of shit doesn't happen for you. You're using your ultimate for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, get the information. Reason number 2, rotate fast. Reason number 3, flank the enemies. But you want to use your ultimate to flank the enemies 3% of the times in Valorant. 97% of times you should be using it to reposition fast, get the info, like,
Wait a little, bro.
use.
Spike planted.
I had my full util, guys. Just waited.
Shadows traveling.
One backside, one pillar.
One enemy remaining.
80.
Last player standing.
Fake shroud the steps! Fake shroud the steps! Also, when it comes to your Omen utility users, like, you're still not implementing, like, you know, 30-40% of Omen's full potential in your games. Like, you're never using it, for example, fake shroud the steps, different variations of the aggressive plays, but, you know, this comes over with time. Like, as you're doing the training that I've shared with you, like, this is gonna be fixed.
Cover going up.
Behind you.
Fake shroud the step. And please, on a split, keep the shorty as a primary secondary weapon in every full buy round. With Omen, shorty, split, easy kills.
Stop it.
What's another dead?
VVV.
Once again, stop playing fucking vents, and if you see that your teammates are peeking, what the fuck?
Quick me.
You them call it, bro.
One heaven.
Spike
Spike
down
mid.
mid.
Spike
Jet
mid.
top
Spike
heaven.
mid.
Okay, what do we do in this scenario, chat? We use our ultimate to reposition onto the B side to help our Sky, to help our Raze, because our Cypher is on the lurk and flank. He got our back, and we play on a refray potential.
Out on side, bro. Oh,
Spike mid.
okay, but keep the spikes on.
Bravo.
Spike plant.
On a defender side of split, you need to stop playing vents so much. You need to respect numbers a bit more, and you need to be more focused on this semi-aggressive refray game. Here, for example, the worst shit you can do is going to the CT. Right now, it would have been 10 times better if he played with his Sky on tower, used his ultimate to reveal the enemies on the site, smoke the CT, and just push together with a paranoia. Now, all three of them are isolated into 1 versus 3 duels. Omen can die alone in CT, Sky can die alone from rafters, Cypher can die alone on the lurk and flank.
I'll smoke backside left.
Spam UT for center.
Paranoia exists. Paranoia exists. Flash!
I've stuck in six.
Okay, listen. Whenever enemies have the Sage wall right here, smoke this, flash the enemies back, fight the enemies that are here, or maybe you can flash those enemies and kill them, tap the spike, wait for the enemies to spam, ba, easy kills. Maybe you can enter the smoke, try to surprise the enemies.
One default.
Last player standing.
You simply need to isolate this and this fight into 2 fights. You cannot allow for some shit like this to happen. Okay, I think that we discussed a lot of the different topics in this VOD review. I have nothing else to say about this specific VOD. Other than that, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, join my Discord server for private coaching. Also there you can access the ranked playbook and all of the private coaching stuff. You can get some tips and tricks from other members of our community. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.